This is Ahir sir from Department of Mechanical Engineering. We have started our lecture series on thermodynamics. So in our last lecture we have discussed about what are the basic of thermodynamics and what is its origin and what are the different uses of thermodynamic, that how it can be useful for students. Okay, now in our today's lecture we are going to discuss what are the different types of thermodynamic systems, surrounding and boundaries, okay, and their control volumes. Okay, now so if we consider first system, the system is nothing but we can define it as the quantity of matter or region in space chosen for particular study. Okay, means anything we want to study, if we choose that particular system under consideration, that means this the thing that is under consideration is called as your system. Okay, now the surrounding is nothing but the mass or region outside the system is called as surrounding. Okay, and the third one is your boundary. We can say that the real or imaginary surface that separates the system from the surrounding is called as boundary. We can say that the boundary can be found to be fixed or movable. Okay, and also we can say that boundary has zero thickness and thus it can neither contain any mass or nor occupies any system. Okay, so in figure it shows that there is a burner, okay, and one gas is present inside the piston cylinder arrangement and we are heating that particular gas. That particular in diagram it is already shown that the fixed boundary is outside area of that particular piston and moving boundary is nothing but your outside boundary is your piston surface and moving boundary is your piston. Okay, now according to your based on this mass transfer and energy transfer between the system and the surrounding, the system, there is classification of thermodynamics. So your first type is your closed system, so which is also known as controlled mass system. Okay, so if we see the particular definition of that particular thing, it consists of a fixed amount of mass and no mass can crosses its boundary. Okay, this is very important thing. In particular case of closed system, there is no exchange of mass, there is only exchange of energy. It means that it consists of fixed amount of mass and no mass can crosses its boundary. That is, no mass can either leave or either enter in a closed system. Okay, so the volume of the closed system may vary, hence its boundary is okay. Just remember one thing regarding control system is that neither mass can enter or leave the system, but energy can leave or energy can enter the system. Okay, now the second thing second important thing is energy in the form of heat or work cannot cross the cross the boundary. Okay, no mass, only energy in the form of heat and work can cross the boundary. Okay, as shown in this particular system. Okay, now the second thing is your second type is your open system. In an open system we can define this particular thing. This is also known as the system is also known as control volume system, in which the both mass and energy can crosses the boundary or the control volume. Okay, for example we can take example of water heater, car radiator, turbine, compressor, and also nozzles. So here one example of nozzle is already shown here. So we can say that boundaries of control volume are called as control surface, and this boundary can be real or can be imaginary. So we can see this in this particular example of nozzle. The interior surface of the nozzle tube or nozzle forms a real boundary. Okay, and the left and right openings of the nozzle are imaginary boundary. Okay, so we can say that mass can enter or leave through this particular imaginary boundary of a control volume. Okay, the next important thing regarding open system is nothing but energy as well as mass can crosses. Okay, that means enters or leave this particular system. Okay, now the next if we talk regarding this thing, this next thing is your property of a system. So prior to that we should know a few definitions, that is what do you mean by property. So we can define property as any characteristics of a system is called as property. That means every system has a certain characteristics by and physical conditions may be described. Okay, So we can say that we can describe that particular physical things with the help of pressure, temperature, volume, density. They are known as property of any system. If we consider few important aspects regarding thermodynamic property, the few aspects are aspect means what is use of this particular property. So it help us to distinguish one system from the another system, or also we can say that it represents a unique value when the system is at particular state. When the system is at particular state, we can represent the unique value of that particular system. And also we can say that it is independent of a path followed by the system in order to attain the required states. Okay, these are the few aspects of the thermodynamic system. So if we classify these particular properties are mainly classified into two particular types. One is your intensive property, second one is your extensive property, and third one is a specific property. Okay, so if we define this intensive property, the intensive property is nothing but the property which are independent of the mass of the system. Simple definition: the properties which are independent of the mass of the system are called as intensive properties. If we consider, for example, okay, so if we consider a room, the box which is shown is here is nothing but, if you consider that particular box as a room where pressure, if we consider particular pressure, we are taking only one property, pressure. We are going to distinguish that, how to distinguish between these two properties, whether the property is intensive or extensive property. Okay, so if we consider about pressure, if the room is divided into number of parts, okay, if the room is divided into number of parts as showed in dotted line in the particular figure, okay, so still we find that the pressure P at any particular point is remains same. Okay, if we say that the atmospheric pressure is 1 atmospheric pressure, if I divide into this particular room into two equal halves, so we can, if we measure the pressure in both the parts, it will be always showing 1 atmosphere. So it is equal to the mass of each part has been changed. Okay, so it shows that, what does this experiment show? This experiment shows that the intensive property has a definite value and it is independent of mass. So as we already discussed in definition, it is independent of mass, therefore it represents as a point function. So we can represent this particular intensive property as a point function. And the few examples of intensive properties are pressure, temperature, and density. Okay, you can also apply this particular thing that we applied in pressure in case of density and temperature also. Okay, so the next type is your extensive property. So extensive property is nothing but which depends upon the size and mass of the system. Okay, remember the definition particularly: the property of the system which depends upon the size and mass of the system is called as extensive property. For example, we can take length, volume, mass, area, or total energy, or we can take any form of energy and entropies. Okay, so it should be noted that the ratio of two extensive properties of a homogeneous means nothing but a single phase. Remember, it should be noted that the ratio of two extensive properties of a homogeneous system represents a specific extensive property. Okay, then so we can take example, a mass per unit volume is called as density, and which represents your specific extensive property. Okay, so therefore the ratio of an extensive property to the mass is called a specific value. Okay, so which is already shown and described here. Specific property is nothing but your the ratio of an extensive property to the mass is called as specific value at that specific value of that particular property. Okay, so this is for today's lecture only. Thank you.